Hey folks, it's Nicholas here with something for you to try on. How about this? The meta crisis is just the inevitable emergence into human collective conscious experience of a horrific glitch in the deep structure of our very universe itself. And the meta crisis does offer us something, a rite of passage into life on the other side of the glitch. But we need to participate in that rite of passage in a conscious and empowered way. And our current maps and guides, frankly, are not fit for this purpose. So if that's a little too much, how about a more moderate version? So sure, we need to transition from ego-based economics to a planetary ecosystem setup. But in order to do that, we need to grasp not just our planet's place in the universe, but also our universe's place in the cosmos. And to make that apprehension, we have to meet the dark side in a more authentic and mature way. Not just the dark side of humanity, but the dark side of the universe. And again, where are the maps and the guides? So, still not resonating? Here's my third and final call for this video series. So as is integrative meta theory is a wonderful thing that offers a lot of powerful and helpful assistance in many contexts. But in the context of humankind's present moment predicament, it's just not cutting it. So its sense making isn't grounded, and its calls to action, such as they are missing the deep point. Here's what I'll cover in this 7-video series. I'll start by explaining what integrative meta theory has been missing and how fixing that hole leads to new and powerful ways to understand and respond to what's happening. Next, I'll talk about some meta theory leadership and community issues and how they're obstructing what we actually need. I frame these issues in terms of distinct messages to men and women because the relationship between men and women is going to be absolutely pivotal going forwards. Then I talk about purpose, function, and structure as a way to frame and contain relational issues, leading to a return to the cosmic level vision I began with. Finally, I review what we've covered and look ahead to forthcoming attractions. As I'm explaining over on this Substack, our current responses to present events have been guided by two main kinds of reality theory. The first is mainstream science, the second what I call spiritualities of light. What we've been missing, though, is class 3 reality theory, an authentic and mature spirituality of light and dark. To understand class 3 theory, let's look first at classes 1 and 2 in more detail. Class 1 theory is essentially materialist or physicalist science, used to explain what I'll call the light and dark sides of the physical universe. Although a fairer depiction of the amount of light and dark in physicality, as we currently understand it, would look more like this. What do I mean by light and dark here? The dark side of the physical universe is the near universal dissolution of order according to the second law of thermodynamics. The light side refers to the opposite direction, to the evolution of complex order in the form of life, which as far as we know today is only occurring on one planet in this vast universe. Class 2 spiritualities aim to transcend and include science, but they only really address the light side of the physical universe. Here my primary target is Wilber's integral theory, but this observation applies more generally. These approaches emphasize an upward trajectory or ascent in terms of a slumbering spirit being awakened to its identity as spirit by a process that is also spirit in action. Now, these spiritualities do acknowledge a very limited and local form of darkness as individual or collective or even transpersonal shadow. But as we'll see, this is only a tiny piece of what class 3 theories describe. Class 3 theory transcends and includes both science and class 2 spirituality, but gives a far more balanced treatment of light and dark. And it also sets that dark and our entire physical and spiritual universe in an even larger relational context. It still has class 2's active ascent, but at the same time, it emphasizes an active fall initiated before the Big Bang, and ongoing right now. Using a non-dual monotheistic setting, Class 3 theories emphasize that this fall is a dream, a nightmare really. It's not actually happening, but the dream of it is a very real dream. On the dark side of things, we still have Class 2's version of shadow, but we also have something almost unimaginably vaster, the universe-scale shadow, or USS. The most direct way to grasp the essence of the USS is to think of our universe as a living being that had parents, and also had early life trauma, although of a far more profound kind than is typical for individual humans. In fact, we could think of typical human shadows, no matter how truly awful and debilitating, as tiny homeopathic doses of the universal scale process. So what I've shared so far is truly useful in understanding what's happening on the planet today as a new emergence of the USS into human collective conscious experience. But an even more significant feature of Class 3 theory is its illumination of a reality aspect that I call the arc. The arc can help us deal with the USS, and so Class 3 theory contains something Class 2 spiritualities lack, a powerful call to action, to build a relationship with the arc and then express its capacities in human collective experience. Next time, I'll explain in more detail how the USS offers a new understanding of what's happening, developing a concrete example in terms of current US politics. Again, I'm Nicholas. Thanks so much for watching. See you again next time.